Hey Potter, this is Keith from Echo Ceramics, and I'd like to show you how to put a handle on a juicer. So I have a little piece of clay and a juicer that I threw in trim on previous video. I'm going to go ahead and attach the handle and then just loop that over. So here's a one that I did before. I don't know if you guys could see it. It has a loop handle, works pretty well. On this one I like to do it slightly differently, and we'll see what happens. So just take a small amount of clay, roll it out, so it kind of has a look and feel of a handle, and you can pull it separately beforehand. That's how that was done, then we attached it, or I attached it. In this case, I'm actually going to go ahead and attach it first and pull it directly from it. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of water, use the needle tool to scratch, and hopefully you guys know why you score. Scoring, because when you attach clay, it's not the slip or something magical. This scoring part here creates a Velcro effect, and the Velcro effect is what interlocks the clay like tiny little fingers. So the more you score, better it is. So score away. So I'm going to do that to the handle part of it as well. Flatten that out. I'm going to go ahead and scratch that as well, or score. The more you score, the merrier. Just go ahead and scratch it away. So once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and line up as much as I can. I'm going to go ahead and support the base. I'm going to go ahead and press that on there firmly. And I'm going to get that fairly wide, like so. And press. Oh, and go ahead and use a slip. Slip is a good thing. I have it. I didn't use it. Does not really require, but you can certainly go ahead and use it. And the thing with the slip is that people think more slip the better. It actually isn't, right? Because too much glue isn't that effective either. So go ahead and smooth out the edges. Make sure you got that nicely blend. And then you can see that is more of an acorn shape or a cone shape. And you always want it to taper. So the hard part you may have, or difficult time you may have, is holding on to this. I'm going to hold on to the juicer part of it. I'm going to bring the water bucket closer to me. And wet your hands, wet the clay, squeeze and pull. So in pointing is not to be too aggressive. Just try to thin out wherever's thicker. So it isn't always at the top, right? It's just wherever you feel that it feels that it's thicker, you want to just go ahead and smooth that out. And I want this handle to be fairly sturdy. So I don't know if the camera is able to see what I'm doing. I have to hold it upside down to get the gravity to help me keep it in place. Right now I'm mainly just doing it to smooth it out. I'm just smoothing it out, and while I'm doing it I'm going to get a little bit of length from it, which is fine. And on the interior part I'm using my thumb like this to smooth it out and kind of create a little groove. So it's slightly inverted on the interior. If it gets too long, you can just simply cut it. I guesstimate the amount of clay, and I usually guesstimate pretty well. And here I'm using my pitted part of my index finger and my middle finger to smooth the edges, right? You could just use your very pit of your fingers to create a nice smooth surface. So try to use different parts of your hands and your finger. Get creative. I'm just going to add a little bit of twist or tip to this guy at the end. I'm going to remove the water bucket. I'm pretty much done. All I'm just going to do is just loop that over like so, and it may not stand upright because it might be a little too soft. So let's see, I'm going to try to turn this upright. So I'm going to hold it upright like so. And then of course, you have to be careful not to tip this over. So I'm going to hold it like this when I'm juicing, and hopefully I'll finish done. I'll pick it up like so and pour it over. So you can see it lines up pretty nicely. It almost looks like a vine, which is fine. If you didn't like that look, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and over curl that, making sure it makes the contact. So you can see it slightly leans forward. And it's quite shaky until it's set and dry. Make sure it's not twisted. Check it from all angles. And of course, you know, these finishing touches what really makes the piece. Alright, so I don't know if aesthetic wise if it matches the piece or not, but if not, I'll try to use a glazing to help that along. Alright, hopefully you'll find that interesting and useful. I'll check you guys out next time. Thanks.